Hello, hello! My name is Callista and welcome back to Mass Effect 3 Legendary Edition. In the last episode, we were doing some exploration. We are currently in Ploitari. I don't think I'm pronouncing that correctly, but that's what I'm going with. Thegan rounds out the trio of planets only scouted by space probe in this backwater solar system. A frozen ball with significant amounts of tin in its crust, Thegan has a fractional atmosphere with trace amounts of carbon dioxide and carbon monoxide. Strange radiation emissions have been charted coming off of Thegan, but it is unknown if these are from radioactive elements or merely a star's radiation reflected by a high albedo surface. Ooh, mysterious. Orbital distance 4.1 AU. Orbital period 8.3 Earth years. Radius 3,581 kilometers. Day length 28.5 Earth hours. Atmospheric pressure 0.05 Earth atmospheres. Surface temperature negative 116 Celsius. Surface gravity 0.56 G. And then who is you? Signalis. Ooh, Signalis. I might nick that for a character name. I quite like that. Sounds like a wizard. Space probes indicate that Signalis is nowhere near as hospitable as its neighbour, Zenithu. Signalis' hydrogen-argon atmosphere is thought to be anathema to life, but the presence of borox on the surface, spawned by a boron-heavy core, indicates that the planet may once have had water. Orbital distance 2.2 AU. Orbital period 3.3 Earth years. Radius 5,391 kilometers. Day length 66.8 Earth hours. Atmospheric pressure 1.23 Earth atmospheres. Surface temperature negative 3 Celsius. Surface gravity 0.84 G. And oh, hello. Wait a minute, I'm getting confused. I'm sorry. Pardon me, brain fart moment. Zenithu. Believed to be a post-garden world, Zenithu has large deposits of calcium carbonate in its sedimentary rocks, indicating it may once have had plate tectonics and even plant life. Its swirling clouds of dust and snow may have occurred more recently and blocked the sun, creating a mass extinction event. Its surface gravity is comfortable and its temperature tolerable by most sapient species. Orbital distance 1.9 AU. Orbital period 2.6 Earth years. Radius 6,619 kilometers. Day length 53.6 Earth hours. Atmospheric pressure 0.38 Earth atmospheres. Surface temperature negative 16 Celsius. Surface gravity 1.2 G. And what do you have? Where, pray tell? Please give me the good shit. Right there. Terminus freighters. Okay. I'll take that. I am curious to see how high I can get the, the war score doodad. Ooh. Aigla? Only known from scan data picked up by space probes, Aigla is currently classified as a dwarf planet. A warm, barren rock, its thin atmosphere is composed of carbon dioxide and oxygen. Significant alumina deposits in its crust make its density and gravity very low indeed. Orbital distance 0.7 AU. Orbital period 0.6 Earth years. Radius 1,511 kilometers. Day length 19.3 Earth hours. Atmospheric pressure 0.03 Earth atmospheres. Surface temperature 125 Celsius. Surface gravity 0.1 G. Now, I worry that I'm not going to have the fuel for this. Let me in. Come on, please be fuel. Please.
Signal confirmed.
There we go. Oh, thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. Okay, there we go. There we go. As long as there is fuel in, is it Sir Willow? I think we should be fine. Where's There's, there you are, right at the back. Issa. A rock and ice planet, Issa has a thin atmosphere of methane and ethane. Its borax deposits, largely trapped beneath the ice, were never considered valuable enough to mine since synthetic substitutes and alternative sources became widely available. Orbital distance 5.4 AU. Orbital period 12.6 Earth years. Radius 7,219 kilometers. Day length 66.5 Earth hours. Atmospheric pressure trace. Surface temperature negative 135 Celsius. Surface gravity 1.5 G. Issa's pretty as well. Again, I'm a nick that for a name. Thurisaz. A hydrogen-helium gas giant, Thurisaz has a decrepit automated infrastructure for refueling merchant vessels with helium-3. Painted onto the metal in a Solarian dialect are the words self-sub. We've been here before. I remember this. I remember this in Mass Effect 2, probably? Orbital distance 3.0 AU. Orbital period 5.2 Earth years. Radius 57,287 kilometers. Day length 18.8 Earth hours. And then, hello there. Answers. Ooh, quite a nice golden brown with these swirls. Answers. A large rock planet, Answers was once under development by a consortium of robo-mining interests, but an epidemic of accidents and sabotage cost the lives of hundreds of workers and eventually drove them off-world. Despite numerous accusations among the mining corporations and a dozen or more trials, popular opinion holds that the real saboteurs were never found. Orbital distance 1.6 AU. Orbital period 2.0 Earth years. Radius 8,795 kilometers. Day length 26.4 Earth hours. Atmospheric pressure 0.14 Earth atmospheres. Surface temperature -7 Celsius. Surface gravity 2.7 G. And then, hello, Hourglass. Hourglass. Wasn't this, wasn't Hourglass where the Shadow Broker's ship was orbiting in Mass Effect 2? Like, I swear down that's where I know this from. Hourglass is a second-tier garden world that receives little attention from the galactic community. A Solarian mining expedition initially discovered the planet, which was promptly strong-armed away from them by organised crime figures. Hourglass's exploration rights were then sold to the highest bidder, which led to a brief bust of mining colonies in the 2000s, but most of those were abandoned when other planets were found with more accessible resources. Though Hourglass has a nitrogen-oxygen atmosphere capable of supporting life, its rotational period is much slower than Earth's, making its day and night 98 Earth days long. Flippin' heck. The intense heat on one side of the planet and the extreme cold on the other make for violent storm cells wherever the sun is rising or setting. As a result, the flora and fauna of Hourglass have developed the capability to live in cycles of ice, flooding, baking heat, and dramatic air pressure changes. The biota of the planet have been largely unexploited by the exotic... Oh yeah, I see what they're saying, okay. The biota of the planet has been largely unexploited by the exotic pet and gardening trades, since simulating their natural conditions is problematic for the average consumer. Orbital distance 0.95 AU. Orbital period 1.0 Earth years. Radius 6,309 kilometers. Day length 98.3 Earth days. Atmospheric pressure 0.83 Earth atmospheres. Surface temperature 72 Celsius day, -64 Celsius night. Surface gravity 0.69 G. And you have... I'm going to assume it's not an exotic pet. Shadow Broker support. This is where the Shadow Broker was hanging out. I'm glad my memory was right on that. And then Kanaz. Kanaz's extremely thin atmosphere is mostly methane and helium. The Solarian explorers who named the system set up a small mining presence for recovering nickel and chromium used in making stainless steel. Orbital distance 0.55 AU. Orbital period 0.5 Earth years. Radius 5,501 km. Day length 68.3 Earth hours. Atmospheric pressure trace. Surface temperature 72 Celsius. Surface gravity 0.69 G. And last but by no means least, Uruz. A large rock planet with a pressure cooker atmosphere of nitrogen and argon, Uruz's silicate-rich crust is relatively low density. It was largely ignored by the Solarian explorers who first charted the system. Orbital distance 0.25 AU. Orbital period 0.1 Earth years. Radius 9,266 kilometers. Day length 51.0 Earth hours. Atmospheric pressure 78.58 Earth atmospheres. Surface temperature 635 Celsius. Surface gravity 2.1 G. Lovely. Now please, in this next place, fire. Okay, please let there be fuel. I need fuel.
I found something.
Okay, there we go. I think there's fuel over there. Anything further out in the back? Doesn't look like it. Okay, how much fuel are we talking? Mama needs some fuel. Excuse me. Thank you. Excellent. I was getting worried. I was thinking, after this, I'm going to have to go back to the Citadel to restock. No, we're fine. We're fine now with that bump. Ooh. Antikythera. Antikythera, fused metal, is so named because of its spectacular craters. A planet high in various grades of iron oxide, Antikythera is regularly pummeled by loose asteroids in the nearby belt between it and Wenrum. The iron melted and fused by the incoming meteors makes for spectacular landscape shots that look alien no matter what part of the galaxy you may be from. However, due to frequent meteor impacts, exploration is considered highly dangerous, even to those with advanced kinetic barriers. Orbital distance 12.3 AU. Orbital period 43.3 Earth years. Radius 5,658 kilometers. Day length 21.1 Earth hours. Atmospheric pressure 0 Earth atmospheres. Surface temperature negative 180 Celsius. Surface gravity 0.8 G. And then again, always check the asteroid belt. Hello, is that Wenrum? That is Wenrum. I'll get to you in a minute. Buddy. I've just got to search the belt first. God, I'm hungry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, that's literally all I'm thinking. My stomach, oh God. It's been a while since I ate, and I've got some shortbread biscuits downstairs, and I'm just like, I want the shortbread. Just please give me shortbread. They're like my favourite biscuits. Shortbread, and then bourbon biscuits. And then chocolate chip cookies. Perfect. Gorgeous. Wenrum. Wenrum, White Knight, takes its name from a Solarian story in the Romantic period of a knight who refused all temptation to riches, carnality, and even flavorful food. Why would you do that? What the fuck? The game heard me! What is this? The game was like, oh, you talking about biscuits? Okay. And even flavorful food, until justice was served to the poor and oppressed. The planet is so named because of its white, highly reflective surface, composed mainly of titanium dioxide and ice, and no atmosphere to speak of to dim its albedo. Orbital distance 11.8 AU. Orbital period 40.6 Earth years. Radius 1,574 kilometers. Day length 59.3 Earth hours. Atmospheric pressure 0 Earth atmospheres. Surface temperature negative 178 Celsius. Surface gravity 0.1 G. That is scary. I feel weird. I'm suspicious. I'm suspicious now. How did the game know I was talking about food? A Lingon. A Lingon, Deceptive, was so named by Solarian scouts because as their probes landed on the planet, their instruments started going awry. This turned out to be due to the high concentration of magnetically active periclase, magnesia, in its core and the crust of the planet. This interferes with scans and broadcasts, which has given rise to countless spacer stories of pirates lying in wait in a Lingon's magnetosphere, or crushed ships with untold fortunes stranded on the surface. In reality, any pirates would have a hard time locating prey among all the interference, and would live lives cut off from the rest of the galaxy, as the magnetosphere kills extraplanetary communication. A Lingon's other natural features are a thin atmosphere of carbon dioxide, spectacular dry ice formations, and xenon gas, which can be skimmed from the upper atmosphere and used in ion thrusters. Orbital distance 10.1 AU. Orbital period 31.7 Earth years. Radius 3,085 kilometers. Day length 56.3 Earth hours. Atmospheric pressure 0.04 Earth atmospheres. Surface temperature negative 166 Celsius. Surface gravity 0.5 G. And what do you have? If you have biscuits, I swear to God. That would be weird and also cool, just like we found a packet of biscuits, Commander. Take the biscuits. Shadowbroker starship ooh, don't mind if I do. We're getting a bunch of shit for Liara. Maybe because, you know, Liara has just had this sudden shock. Naomi's going out into the galaxy being like, I'm gonna get you some Shadowbroker stuff. Accept my gifts, please. And these biscuits. Nephros. Nephros, Restless Sleep, is a relatively small hydrogen-nitrogen gas giant. Its atmosphere is home to spectacular winds of up to 350 kilometers per hour, and electrical storms of up to 700 times the power of those on Earth, which indicates that its hydrogen clouds contain moderate amounts of water vapor. Orbital distance 7.5 AU. Orbital period 20.6 Earth years. Radius 44,750 kilometers. Day length 11.9 Earth hours. And then the last three. Tunfagel. First charted by the Solarians, Tunfagel, Hardheart, is noted for its platinum and uranium deposits, making robo-mining a lucrative activity. While the surface temperature is well within the range of a comfortable EVA excursion, the extremely dense Tunfagel generates a dangerous gravitational pull 5 times that of Earth. The Solarian miners exploiting the planet derisively nickname planets such as these L-Core tourist traps. Don't make fun of the L-Core. How dare you? Orbital distance 1.8 AU. Orbital period 2.4 Earth years. Radius 10,772 kilometers. Day length 35.5 Earth hours. Atmospheric pressure 0.03 Earth atmospheres. Surface temperature negative 31 Celsius. Surface gravity 5.1 G. And, nope, excuse me, let me in. Daratar. Though ancient riverbeds crisscross the plains of Daratar, Dissociation, there we go. Photodissociation has long since dried up the world. There are indications of ancient mining operations, but any structures have long since been buried or worn away by the planet's seasonal dust storms. Orbital distance 0.9 AU. Orbital period 0.9 Earth years. Radius 3,937 kilometers. Day length 62.8 Earth hours. Atmospheric pressure 0.49 Earth atmospheres. Surface temperature negative 66 Celsius. Surface gravity 0.5 G. And finally, Quorum. What beautiful red colour. Quorum. A scorchingly hot planet close to its parent star, Quorum was bombarded by comets and asteroids during its earliest geological periods. As the solar system stabilised, these occurrences levelled off until the planet became geologically inactive. Its nitrogen and helium atmosphere is extremely thick due to heavy metals making the planet's core very dense. Unfortunately, these metals are deep below the crust, making mining impractical. Orbital distance 0.2 AU. Orbital period 0.1 Earth years. Radius 3,137 kilometers. Day length 53.1 Earth hours. Atmospheric pressure 2.22 Earth atmospheres. Surface temperature 558 Celsius. Surface gravity 3.5 G. Lovely. Excellent, and that should be... Yes, everything in here is explored. Fabulous. And in we go. Now then, where to next? Yeah, that's gonna confuse me. That is gonna confuse me. Okay, so let's head over here. Yeah, that was Ontarom. That was where the Rachni were. We've been there. Yeah, let's head to the Caleston Rift. Oh, okay, this is just an individual system. Lovely.
Signal confirmed.
Okay, we've got a few things here. Firstly, yoink. Okay, fabulous. All topped up. Lovely jubbly. Partholon. A large planet composed of ice surrounding a rocky core, Partholon retains trace gases of nitrogen and carbon monoxide. Its crushing gravity makes for an inhospitable stay and mining largely infeasible. However, its orbit's proximity to the mass relay in the system means space travellers will, for the next few years, use it for a gravitational slingshot to add speed on their way to and from Caleston. Orbital distance 11.2 AU. Orbital period 68.6 Earth years. Radius 11,921 kilometers. Day length 28.2 Earth hours. Atmospheric pressure trace. Surface temperature negative 236 Celsius. Surface gravity 6.6 G. And then next up is you, Elatha. A tiny rock planet, Elatha is noted for its frigid temperatures and crushing nitrogen and krypton atmosphere. Lying out beyond the Formor belt, there is little to recommend. Oh, it's pretty though. That's a nice green colour. It's like a mint green with splecks of forest green. It's pretty. Orbital distance 5.5 AU. Orbital period 23.6 Earth years. Radius 1,812 kilometers. Day length 57.3 Earth hours. Atmospheric pressure 43.34 Earth atmospheres. Surface temperature negative 72 Celsius. And surface gravity 0.1 G. Now, can I assume that this is the Formor belt? I see you there, 1 second. Okay, yes, hello there, Brez. I'm with you. I'm with you, buddy. A member of the Formor belt, Brez is a dwarf planet with no atmosphere. It is, however, rich in lithium, which is integral to the heat sinks of many starships and handheld weapons. A large robo-mining operation from Caleston once existed here, but the miners quickly abandoned the area when they learned they were in the path of the Reapers, smart miners. Orbital distance 2.9 AU. Orbital period 4.9 Earth years. Radius 975 kilometers. Day length 23.3 Earth hours. Atmospheric pressure none. Surface temperature negative 146 Celsius. Surface gravity 0.173 G. And over yonder it looks like. Come on, where you at? Right there you at. Synth diamond heat sinks, don't mind if I do. And then just you two left. Caleston. This sounds familiar. Have we been here before? I don't know. Caleston is the largest satellite of the gas giant Cernunnos. Ancient asteroid strikes deposited major iodes of element 0 within the molten sulfur mantle. Eldfell Ashland Energy's mining operations made it the largest source of Starship Drive core material in the Attican Traverse, which threatened Caleston's native biodiversity with industrial waste. Caleston is racked with volcanism due to tidal stresses from Cernunnos. Because of weak solar output, plant-like life on Caleston is not carbon-based and photosynthetic, but silicon-based and thermosynthetic, requiring heat rather than sunlight to power chemical reactions. These organisms flourish in volcanic vents and during solar flares, when Baylor, Caleston's sun, can double or triple in luminosity. Oxygen-breathing habitation is not possible outside its many domed cities. Those cities are now feasts for the Reapers, who drove off Caleston's protective fleet and now threaten to puncture domes to force the population into submission. Oof. Colony founded 1975 CE. Population 1.8 billion. All population estimates are pre-invasion. Capital, Sinnoh. Orbital distance, 0.07 AU. Orbit Cernunnos. Orbital period, 21.5 Earth hours. Orbit Cernunnos. Radius, 6,600 kilometers. Day length, 21.5 Earth hours. Atmospheric pressure, 0.9 Earth atmospheres. Surface temperature, 30 Celsius. Surface gravity, 1.2 G. I mean, that's rough. If you're living in a domed city and you can't survive out of those domes, the Reapers, they have you over a barrel. They truly do. And Cernunnos. Ooh, I like that shade of purple. Cernunnos is a sizable gas giant with high nitrogen content. It is believed to be an extrasolar capture due to its close stellar location. In a rare phenomenon, it is near enough to its red dwarf star to be within the life zone, although its massive size prevents the tidal lock that usually occurs at this range. While nothing could survive on the surface of a planet with such crushing gravity, Cernunnos' moon, Caleston, has life. Cernunnos was skimmed for its abundant hydrogen, and refineries on Caleston processed it into a metastable metallic form for use as starship fuel. The Reapers have since destroyed this operation. Orbital distance, 0.07 AU. Orbital period, 31 Earth days. Radius, 49,231 kilometers. Day length, 17.0 Earth hours. Oof. Big oof there. Now then, okay. That is you done. That is where Trainer advised us to go, so we're going to avoid that. So yes, the Hades Nexus. Okay, how many systems here? 4. Got it. Got it. Let me back in.
I found something.
Anything else? Aha. Wait a minute. I'm pretty sure I'm all full up for fuel. Let me check. Sorry. Yeah, 1,000. Okay. We'll leave that for when we're coming back. I'm looking at my timer. I only have about 2 minutes left, so I'm going to bring this episode to a close right here. Please remember to like if you enjoyed, leave a comment below, and if you wanted to subscribe, it would be very much appreciated. I've been Callista. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next episode.